Great to meet you. Thank you for having us. Jenny Mundy, my husband, please say hello to us. Thanks very much. I'm in Jacksonville. Hi, Francine Levy. I'm happy. It's so nice that you take this on. It really does mean a lot. Thank you. Thank you for hosting us.
No problem. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it so much. Marjorie, 2nd Marine Division. My husband can't be here. We have our service.
It's my wife, Jennifer.
Great to meet you, Jennifer. You're a lucky man.
Hi, we're nice to lead us to
It is. Great to meet you as well. Thank you for hosting us.
First time. Very good for family.
Great family.
Scott Great, I'm the base sergeant.
Great to meet you. Thanks for hosting us.
My wife, Christine.
Hi, Christina. How are you? Thank you. Thank you for having us. Hi, Jennifer. Good to meet you. Please send in my regards and thank you for so well representing him. Oh, okay. Very, very excited. Very much looking forward to
There's usually about a year off.
Thank you for your help as well with your service in general and the health. So they told us all about the incredible community that you have here. So it's such a privilege for us to see it firsthand. And I heard that some of you are planning to leave in short order to help relief efforts in Puerto Rico, which is just incredible.
On a place in your administration. So.
Ah, very. Yeah. See, I like this. The best recruitment ever.
Yeah, actually, if you wouldn't mind.
I love this. We should be so lucky.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Corporal McKeon.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Corporal. Hi.
Pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Cool Fields.
Ivanka, good to meet you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come out here. Appreciate it. Thank you.
The pleasure is mine. Where are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania originally, and we actually deployed together, so this means a lot to us for you guys stopping by and seeing us. So yeah, but
means a lot
Pennsylvania, the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area of Pennsylvania. So 2 hours from New York, 2 hours from Philly. It's a great location.
Really nice.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I went to Penn. So
I know you did.
I know the area pretty well.
Yes. Corporal Bergman, pleasure to meet you.
How are you? Good to meet you, Corporal.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Sergeant McConnell, how are you?
Nice to meet you, Sergeant.
Okay, ma'am. Sergeant Hurley.
Great to meet you, Sergeant.
Nice to meet you, too. Nice to meet you, ma'am. Corporal Lawson.
Nice to meet you, Corporal.
Afternoon, ma'am. Corporal Davis.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, ma'am. Sergeant Johnson.
How are you?
Good.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, ma'am. Sergeant Lacey.
Nice to meet you. Tall. Good to meet you, Ivanka.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Corporal Torres.
How are you, Corporal?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Yeah, like you said, I was.
You guys want this for Facebook?
So we're looking to increase availability and drive down cost across the country for all Americans. But this is a unique challenge when you're at a base in a location without a wide variety of options and with long wait times like you had suggested. So thank you for putting that on our radar, and we will focus on that.
The incredible spouses of our heroes and the role that you're playing in support of them is enormously important, yet you face very unique challenges that most people are unaware of as it pertains to employment struggles. And that should not be the case. As an administration, we're committed to making sure that all Americans have incredible jobs, especially Americans that are serving this great country of ours.
It is a true honor to be with so many dynamic women, and as the saying goes, a few good men, I see around the room as well. And we're not here just because the statistics present a particular challenge about underemployment and unemployment, but really to look forward about all the different opportunities in the increasing gig economy that we have.
We need to create uniformity, and a lot of this, and we're working very closely with Secretary Acosta to work with the governors of the states to create compacts. This has been done successfully for education amongst military children. And this is something that we're looking to extend to spouses as well across as many industries as we can. So we're actively meeting with governors, creating these pacts, and trying to figure out ways to help with an enormous hurdle that we hear time and time again involving licensure and credentialing as people move between states. Another area that we're deeply committed to is our administration's working family agenda. And this includes, as part of tax reform, supporting policies such as the expanded child care tax credit. We know that the cost of child care is unaffordable. It is skyrocketed out of control, and in roughly 50% of this country, it's the family's single largest expense. So we've heard the feedback from families across this country, including military spouses, about the burden of the cost of childcare and the limitations it puts on their ability to secure jobs. As an administration, we're committed to fueling and unleashing the spirit of small business owners. And military families and military spouses are great examples of entrepreneurs. I was an entrepreneur myself, and I also worked in the context of a family business, both at a family business and growing a business that I created on my own. I've had both experiences, which are relatable in some ways to many of the people in the room. Working in a family business brings unique opportunities and challenges, the same with being an entrepreneur. So, I do think, going back to what Kellyanne was saying about Administrator McMahon's real commitment to focusing not just on making the SBA a resource for small business owners and entrepreneurs to gain access to capital, which is traditionally what they're known for, but also making sure that these centers across the country, and there are 68 entrepreneurship centers, also provide guidance and mentorship and network opportunities. And I think that is so critical, because as I go around the country and as I speak to female entrepreneurs, male entrepreneurs, a lot of times it's they'll talk about their unique challenges gaining access to capital, especially growth capital. Once they've gone beyond the friend and family love and are looking to scale their efforts and scale their business. But I would say as much, if not more, I hear from people that they need guidance and that they're looking for somebody who can help give them feedback and mentorship. And one of the great things that the SBA is doing and really prioritizing is making sure that these entrepreneurship centers are resources for all Americans to go to and to get feedback on how they can grow their business, to get feedback on what lending options are available to them, and to really give them some of the guidance that they wouldn't otherwise have access to, and also to create networking opportunities. So, this is one of the great networks anywhere in the world, our military. So using each other and really thinking about how you can leverage this relationship and this network as you think about growing your business, if you do end up growing that. But coming from an entrepreneurship background, I'm so inspired to hear the stories of so many small business owners I've met who are military spouses who didn't intend to be small business owners or entrepreneurs, and it happened organically. And they're experiencing both joy and fulfillment and real success in that capacity. So we look forward to supporting those of you that are on that journey as well. We also, as an administration, and we care deeply about ensuring that there's a match between the skills being taught in our classrooms and the skills being taught in our technical schools with the skills that are available in the modern economy. So apprenticeship is core to our mission. We want to make sure that there are many pathways to a job for those who don't have a four-year college degree and don't want one or are not seeking one, and to create robust private-public partnerships where we're really engaging the private sector to allow people to earn while they learn and be introduced to new opportunities that hadn't previously been open to them. So this idea of workforce development, skills training, apprenticeship is another very interesting route that I think it should be part of the conversation and very much worth exploring in the broader context of what we're talking about here today.
The resume tells me what you do. It doesn't tell me who you are. And that's your opportunity to tell me who you are as an employer. I have to tell you, Jenny, in having my own business for 22 years and employing a number of people over that time, that I always look for the same attributes. I mean, there's something about your formal education or your credentialing and obviously your employment history your references, but there's really something to seeing grit and survival skills and coping skills in folks, because there are set things in any workplace that we're all expected to do by day, by week, by month, by year, but then there are all those exigencies and those eventualities, the circumstances that you cannot foresee. And I always really appreciated the potential employees and the actual employees who showed that moxie and that grit and that ability to take a situation and manage it and not fall apart because it wasn't in the schedule or you hadn't encountered it before. And I can think of very few, if any, Americans out there that can go toe-to-toe with military spouses in terms of proving every single day the ability to focus and to show integrity and selflessness on behalf of a much greater pursuit.
I've never met a very successful person who was not incredibly tenacious and also deeply passionate about the work that they are doing. So you have to love it to be great. We all know people who see the problems and see the problems as obstacles and as barriers. And the rare person, and they are rare, it is rare to find someone who is very focused on the solution and finding a solution. I feel great about the future for women, and you see the economic empowerment of women just over the last several decades. You see the contribution to GDP growth coming almost solely from the role of women's participation in the workforce in such an expanded way, and that continues to grow and that continues to evolve. You know, we do have definitely unique challenges. We are often the ones leaving the workforce to provide unpaid care for our children and adult dependents, and that brings unique stresses, unique satisfaction as well, but certainly the unique stress of trying to balance the competing demands of work and a family. And as we look at the modern economy, and as we think about the fact that the vast majority of American households are dual income, we need to think about the tax code through that lens. We need to think about the policies we're creating through that lens, through supporting the modern American family, and we're committed to doing that. You know, in thinking about tax reform, and thinking about regulatory reform, and thinking about growing the economy and ensuring that it can thrive, and thinking about ensuring that women are equally participating in the fields of the future. So when we think about where the jobs of the future are likely to come from, we need to do better than having women represent 22% of all tech workers. That's unacceptable. The fact that women are only today 13% of all engineers is unacceptable. So when you think about the future of where job creation is going to come from, we need to have coding skills. We need to embrace computer science. That needs to start early, and we need to make sure that these programs are designed in our schools with diversity, racial and gender diversity in mind, so we get increased participation. So we're working on all of these things.
I think in the 21st century that if you're so inclined, the workforce is everyone and the workplace is everywhere. That, of course, is not true if you are a teacher in the classroom or a nurse or a physician in the hospital. But it is true for many of our industries and many of our positions. I notice with great enthusiasm that many of the jobs of the future that don't have tech or engineer in the title, and Ivanka's, of course, exactly correct about that, they tend to be in fields where women are still gravitating: healthcare, education, some information systems. And we often, especially in our healthcare debate writ large, talk about healthcare consumers. And that is predominantly female, meaning we control about 2 out of every 3 healthcare decisions made in the household. About 2 out of every 3 healthcare dollars in this country are the expenditure for those are controlled in part or in whole by a female. But I'd like to also also talk about healthcare and women as the providers, not just the consumers. We are 1/2 of the medical students and pharmacy students roughly, but we are over 90% of the home health aides, a very big growing part of the healthcare sector, for example. We are roughly still about 85 or 90% of the nurses. And so when you think about healthcare, just as one industry, we are disproportionately a majority of the healthcare consumers, but also the healthcare providers.
And since then we've had another PCS. I am a mom of 19-month-old twins, currently employed, travel often for that work, which I absolutely love. The CDC has the highest standards in the country for childcare, and so we need to make more opportunities for families. Dual military obviously get prior placement, which is totally understandable. But for those families who aren't dual military, who want to be dual income, we need to provide more opportunities for them. And so, setting the standards for childcare outside of the CDC. We provide subsidies for childcare centers for families, and I think if we can set those standards to the CDC standards, that would be an excellent start, just because some care is not the same as CDC care.
We recognize the challenge with childcare generally. It's unaffordable. It is uniquely challenging when you've moved into a location, a rural location, without family and friends to support you.
The DoD health records were on a completely different system than the VA health records. And oftentimes, as somebody was transferred out of active service and into civilian life, it would take almost a year for the VA to be able to get their records, which is absolutely crazy. And that's oftentimes when a family is the most vulnerable and the most in need of health services and supportive services and counseling and guidance. And that is something that this administration tackled very early on, and now it's a seamless transfer. So we've finally taken the two different technology systems and completely integrated them, so it's a seamless transfer of health data, which sounds so basic, but it was an enormous challenge and a huge project, and we're very proud to have gotten that done.